Okay, breaking news. The Epstein Files Transparency Act has just set off an earthquake in Washington. Now, 2 days ago, I said Trump was showing better cognition and game sense than some people think because on Sunday, he switched from opposing the House vote to pretending to support it. And that constituted a tactical shift in the face of realizing he was going to lose. And it was probably the smartest play possible. What I didn't predict was how quickly Congress would play back. And today, Tuesday, some muscle memory may have returned at last to Congress. They passed the bill he clearly did not want, and it was glorious. It was unanimous, minus just one vote from Louisiana. So sorry, Louisiana, you seem to still have a representative willing to carry water for wealthy sex traffickers. But I mean, 427 to 1 in favor is amazing. And then Schumer took the House's touchdown and kicked a field goal on top of it. He got Republican leadership to stand by and allow unanimous consent to deem the measure from the House already passed the moment it hit the Senate. That's like the Ents releasing the river on Saruman and his orcs of Orthanc. So take a moment to breathe the free air again. Some things like trafficking and underage girls are still going to get a near unanimous vote in our legislature against. But now the cover-up goes back to the executive branch, which is where it began and where it's been all this time anyway, because Trump can release whatever he wants whenever he wants to. This whole vote drama and the Congress has been used by this regime as a distraction from the protection racket going on under this Trumpet and his Department of Justice. So, mark me pleasantly surprised if this legislation significantly changes what gets released about Trumpet allies, because it has, the loopholes. So let me walk through those really quickly. And I'm going to add that there's this significant typo, which you may not hear others address, and it's kind of interesting. The bill is pretty simple. It's just 6 pages long and has only 3 sections. Section 1 is just the name, the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Section 2 is what must be released in 30 days, and Section 3 is what must be released 15 days after that. So Section 2 has 3 subsections, all right? A, B, C. Section A lists what we want released, the good stuff. Emails, internal memos at DOJ, flight logs, plea agreements, institutional ties, all good stuff for justice. And Section B prohibits any redactions for reputational harm or political sensitivity, also good stuff. Section C is the loophole bucket, right? Some are important, like protecting victims' identities and not releasing any child porn or death pictures, all good. The bad faith loopholes are going to be used for bad faith. They say no ongoing investigations, or if there's an executive order that says it's related to national security or foreign policy. Giant fucking loopholes that you can drive a tractor trailer full of Epstein files right through. And there's this big typo. Now, legislation often has typos, and usually it goes through processes so it can get fixed. But this thing going through the discharge process didn't get a chance to get anything fixed. Section 3 requires a list of what was not released. Good. The typo comes in where it says that they must release anyway all government officials named or referenced in any redacted materials. But the typo says no redactions permitted under subsection B1. That should have said C1, because B says what cannot be used as a reason to hide things, remember? So therefore, if you think back to the Venn diagrams, there's nothing in the set of redactions under section B, meaning the regime will be technically later truthfully able to say, hey, there's no redactions under section 3. It's just a tiny bit of legal camouflage inadvertently included in this process. But it's still a political win. Perhaps even a defining one, because if Congress can remember to use these muscles and push the Epstein cover-up back to the president, perhaps they can awaken to stop some more lawbreaking? Perhaps. But for now, let us celebrate putting the spotlight back to Trumpet and his DOJ where it should have been the whole darn time. But don't forget that the war goes on, because we should expect bad faith obstruction by this regime to continue to protect powerful pedophiles, including almost certainly Trumpet himself. But in the hope of eventual justice for these victims and justice for all, Amen, America.